What if I told you this Prestige 420 has 2 cabins with 2 separate staircases? So come with me on a full tour of this very smart, very well looked after Prestige 420 lying here in the UK. So let's go. You've seen our intro, and I'm going to start today's video up here on the bow. One of the most obvious key features up here is this nice sun pad. Now the sun pad itself is a good size, and you can see there's a slight angle on here, so when I'm lying on here or sitting on here, I'm quite pitched forward, so you've got good visibility ahead of you. Now keep watching because you'll see why this is slightly more raised later on in the video. Other things up here, we've got this anchor locker. So if I just get down here, try and do this on camera, push this up, and then you've got a good size anchor locker in there for fenders. We stuck the fenders in there this morning, and you've also got the handle for the clutch mechanism on the actual windlass itself. But it's a really enjoyable space to be up here. Good pulpits all the way around as well, and if you look at the front of this boat, the beam is carried a long way forwards, and again keep watching because that becomes clearer why later on. Slightly further back now, we'll start walking down the side deck on the port side. You can see the electric roof. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail later. But you've got nice, easy access around on these side decks. You've got the pulpit high, slightly angled out as well. Midships cleat, good size for those lines. Bigger boat, you're going to need those. But we're going to switch now to Nathan. And once you're back in this aft cockpit, you get a really nice sense of a space on board this boat. So we've got teak decking out the back here. We've got lighting. We've got access to services through that panel up there in the ceiling. And you'll see here, we've also got some nice Prestige detailing on the back here of the roof of the hardtop there. The owner had these lights fitted not that long ago, so we've got these spotlights here mounted up there in the moulding, which work really well. And at night, they give you really good lighting back aft. In this aft cockpit space itself, we've got a teak opening table, and it's all really nice and clean. That's one of the real features I'll mention on board this particular boat is we've jumped on here this morning with a bit of notice to the owner, but not too much because of the weather, but it's very clean. The boat, everywhere you look, is really neat and tidy, and you just can tell it's a very clean boat. There's a large bench seat back here on the aft cockpit with storage underneath. Now that storage underneath, I guess, is probably designed predominantly for a life raft. We don't have a life raft in there this morning, but we've whipped off that shore power lead, and that's again a brilliant spot just to pop that in. You'll see here we've got the framing. The metal framing is stainless steel. Now that's for a sunshade. It doesn't have the rear awning sides out here, but it does have the bimini top on there. So in the summer, you've got some shade out here. Another really important feature to mention out here in the aft cockpit is the second station. Now, as I mentioned originally, this is an IPS boat, so we've got a separate second station joystick down here, as well as a bow thruster control. Now it's really handy to have both the joystick and bow thruster control just there. Manual bilge pump there, and then underneath just a little bit of storage, I guess just for a couple of lines, some shoes, whatever you want to put in there. Access down to those IPS engines is through the floor here. We'll cut to that in a minute. You've got the twin IPS 500 engines in there, but again, a very, very tidy engine space, and this boat's been well looked after by the current owner. I need to carry on talking about the back here of the boat because there's more to talk about, so come with me. And I want to talk to you about the platform. So, talk about the history of this boat a little bit. So she is it's a 15-16 boat, and her first couple of years of her life, she was actually sat in a showroom, so she didn't actually get sold until, I'm saying, 2019. Is that right, Nathan? So 2019 was when she got first sold to the first owner. He then took her to Portugal, and then, to cut a long story short, she's ended up coming back to the UK before EU, etc., etc. So she's all tax paid in the UK, and they've enjoying the boat in Dartmouth. But one of the features the boat didn't have originally was a hydraulic platform or a high-low platform. So the boat's been away to a really reputable local company here in the Devon, and they've retrofitted a high-low platform exactly the same as they would have done from the Prestige factory. So that's a huge cost to the current owner, but it's a great feature now from a resale perspective. So you can see today we've got it's a little aluminium rib there on the back. So in order to launch that, there's a couple of buttons just down here, and you can lower that into the water, making use of that tender super easy. And again, If you're not just launching the tender, it's a really nice feature for swimming, if you've got grandchildren, yourself, whatever, friends, to get back on the boat with that platform lowered into the water is a really nice feature itself. Really nice swim ladder as well, tucked down here underneath that, gas operated. Quite a few attention to details on this boat. You know, quality, you've got nicely lined locker, nice teak stair treads on the actual bathing ladder. It's got a rope there to help you pull it back in, a gas strut to help the lid. You know, little features like that. It certainly feels very premium. Shore power connections on the port side, and then you've got a starboard side little transom shower there, so a freshwater shower based there on the back of the cockpit. So I've spoken about this bit probably far too much, but head with me now, we'll go and look into the saloon. Now, it's quite good today to show you how this boat works, because the sun is out, it's late February here in the UK, it's still a bit chilly, you can see we've got our jackets on. But as soon as you step into the saloon, even though we've got that roof open, you get a bit of warmth from the glass, and this shows you how well this boat works in this UK environment. The door itself is a 3-piece folding door or sliding door, so with that right back as we've got it now, you've got a nice big aperture there. You can, if you wanted to, have it, and embarrass myself now because Nathan's put this on a lock and I don't know how he's done it. There we go. You can, if you wanted to, have that just as a 1-piece opening. By doing that, you're going to obviously keep more warmth in here, but for today's purposes, it's quite nice to have it folded right back. He says, Nathan, how do I do that? There we go. Right, I'm going to leave it like that because Nathan did it a minute ago, so let's leave it like that. Once you come in here, you've got sensible, you've got a nice sort of rubberised floor here in the galley area, so this is a good working space. If you are going to nip in here with your shoes on, it's not so much of an issue. Behind me here in the galley, you've got a good sized fridge and freezer, which is tucked behind those doors there. Good size for this size of boat to have both that freezer and fridge. And then above me here, we've got an electric oven / microwave combi oven. Now, talking of electrics, this boat does have a generator, so she's got a 5.7 kVA generator. So that, if again, we're similar scenario today, we're here on a mooring buoy for the day. If you wanted to run the oven to cook lunch, or you wanted to charge your phones, laptops, you can get that generator on and keep the boat working. Behind me here in the galley, you've got practical setup. So we've got cutlery drawer there. We've got good storage, to be fair. Nice big storage locker in there. Little things like you've got a pocket there for this lid for the sink. And there's something Prestige do well. That slides in there one way, doesn't it, Nathan? There you go. That slides in there. So if you're going to use the sink, you've got somewhere to put the galley lid and the sink lid. Little features like that. Boats work well. Stainless steel splash back here in the galley, and then above here we've got some lockers, tea and coffee, and that one's just empty. Just talking through other things here on this boat, and another extra fitted by the owner was a Webasto heating system. So even though the boat was a med boat originally, it's great to see that Webasto system there, giving you the ability to heat this saloon, the cabins, and that is a really nice feature. Bose sound system here mounted on the ceiling, linked back down to the TV, which is here in the centre of the saloon itself. And then moving slightly further forward, you get into the seating section. So you change from the rubberised floor to carpet. You've got this nice fold-out table, which can turn. So in this arrangement, obviously you can imagine that spins round, and that then gives you the ability to use this very much as a dining area. You've got good visibility through those screens. Look at that view out there, the Dart, we're very lucky. You see our next boat we're videoing there, which is a Ribeye 811. So we've got Captain Taylor over there waiting for us, and then we'll do that one in a minute. I mentioned that electric roof earlier, but you can feel the heat, you can feel the warmth coming through that. It's great to feel the sun again in the UK. But with that roof opening, you've got a lovely sense of air and light in here. You've got these just simple manual windows as well, both port and starboard. So if it is really warm, then you can open those as well. The wood finish in here is like a light oak, which works nicely. You've got that inlay here on the table. If I just come over now to the helm, as you'd expect with what we've spoken about so far, it's in really good condition. We've got a full suite of nav gear here. You can see here on the rev counters we're showing 232 hours on the port and 232 hours on the starboard. So she's done very, very little work really. Kit-wise, here we've got the Volvo Penta display. We've got a compass, obviously, the switch gear here. So we've got water pump, demisters, bilge pump overrides, windlass control, roof control, windlass control, nav lights, everything you'd expect. It's the later generation of Volvo, so it doesn't have the ignition key, it has the fob. So that's what you tap onto there, which you may have seen on other boats already. And then you've got this really nice colour Marine plotter in front of me. So you can see here, we always reference where we are in Dittersham, but Dittersham is up the River Dart. It's a very easy place to get to. You You see if I zoom out here, lots of beeping. You can see this is the sea out here, this is Dartmouth here, this side. So we've come up the river from its home berth and we've just popped into Diddersham. And this is a really nice sheltered spot, great pub over here and restaurant in the summer. So just a nice place for us to do our videos. You've also got a helm indicator on here, which is quite nice. So if you aren't going to use the IPS system, then you've got a helm indicator, which is nice here. Talking of IPS, we've got the joystick here on your nicely positioned on your starboard side at the helm. Got that drop down window, so you can see here you've got your throttles and your joystick, so it's really nicely laid out, and then you've got your bow thruster there as well, so everything's to hand. This area here is finished in a carbon fibre effect, which adds to the sort of sporty feel of the boat and the quality of it. So yeah, all in all, a very nice place to be. A couple of USB chargers down here as well, so good place to stick your phone. So lots to talk about. I hope I'm not boring you, but keep watching. We're going to go and have a look at the cabins. I grabbed the camera from Nathan just for a space perspective, but this boat's got 2 cabins with 2 staircases. So we're going to look at the forward cabin first. So you've got a good handrail, stepping down just a couple of steps, and you pretty much land in this forward cabin. Now I like on this forward cabin, you've got these double doors. So you've got this twin door arrangement, which gives you a nice big aperture as you come into the cabin. And you've got great head height. So because of that foredeck, which I mentioned earlier on, which is slanted, the head height into this cabin continues a really long way forward. Coming into the cabin, you can see how nicely this boat's presented. We've got LED lighting at the back there of the cabin. We've got overhead lighting with more carbon fibre effect on there. And then you've got these nice hull windows, letting lots of natural light. You can imagine waking up to that view. Really, really nice. Storage continues in here, so you've got a hanging wardrobe space that side, and you've got hanging wardrobe space on the starboard side. Let's use our bag just on the floor there. But it shows you how well this cabin's been thought through. Behind me here, we've got what is for day heads. There is a separate door here, which works as the ensuite access, but that's only if you wanted complete privacy. But this is predominantly going to be your day heads, or is your day heads. So you can see there you've got a nice shower area. The toilet is in the shower, but I think that's a good thing because it gives you, on this size of boat, if you tried to squeeze a toilet and a separate shower, you'd be really tight on space. By doing it like this, it just gives you plenty of room. Got a shower head there, you can see it's all nice and clean, not marked at all. And then you've got some under counter storage here, and then a surface mounted. See if that opens as a storage. I don't think it does. So if I just show you again, that's a really clever use of space. You've got double doors going there to forward cabin. You've got an ensuite / day heads here as well, and that's completely separate to what I'm going to show you now. So as I mentioned, we've got 2 separate staircases on this boat. So I'm now stepping down this stern staircase into what is another really nice sized cabin. So you can see here we've got this bed arranged as a double. There is a small infill there at the base, so you can make slightly more floor space in that area if you want to. But clever use of mirrors in here. So we've got nice lighting, all that natural light coming back in from those hull windows. You've got storage here. You can see the sunshade that I mentioned for the aft cockpit area earlier, nicely stored away. As I kept saying earlier on, this boat's presented in really good condition. Lots of storage in here as well, so you've got lockers all the way along here, and then you've got another shelving area with a nice Roman blind there. So clean, everywhere you look is such a clean boat. This is an ensuite cabin. It's a slightly different arrangement here. You've got a sliding door for the, tell a lie, it's not a sliding door. I thought it was a sliding door. It's a hinge door for the toilet, but you've got the toilet in the shower area again, but it works really well. That's a really nice sized area for a shower on this size of boat. But look at the detailing here with that shelving, the lighting there above it. You've got the stainless steel fiddles there just to stop things falling out. But clever use of space, clever use of lighting, and the boat feels like it's had very, very little use. Pan you back round there, you get an idea of where I am. If I just walk you back through now towards the stern of the boat, you can see here we've got the main battery isolators, we've got some 240 volt kit there, and then just again nicely stored. You've got your fuel keys here, just nicely laid out there, and you can tell it's an owner that enjoys his boat and enjoys keeping it nice and tidy. So Nathan's getting ready here with a drone. We've done some drone footage, but we're going to get some more before the cloud kicks in. So Nathan's just taking the drone off there. I think you'll agree this is a really nice boat that's been certainly well looked after. Get up Nathan's way with a drone. I think it offers something a bit different for a 42-foot boat here in the UK. The electric roof works really well. We've got that fantastic condition. You'll see from the drone up in the sky now, she looks great as well. You've got the practicality of the IPS system, the efficiency of the IPS system. A really good option. So please do get in contact. The full spec for this boat will be available on our website, which is in the details below, so don't forget to go and check that out. Thank you very much for watching. We do appreciate, you know what to do. Go and subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thanks for watching.